Just because you played one good game doesn't mean you're good. And deep down, you may know that because one hot night doesn't erase all the doubt. You still think in the back of your head, can I do this again? Right? And most athletes ride the high of this one good game, and the next thing you know, they crash the next one. All right? And that's what we're going to discuss in today's video, why one game doesn't define you. So, now, first point, one game means nothing. I need you to relax because even the worst players can have one good game. I need you to realize that one good game means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because the straight bot on your team right now that gets their shit ran in practice is bound to have a good game at some point. Right? Especially if they put the work in. Like maybe not even a good game, maybe even just a decent game. It's bound to happen. Right? So I don't want you defining your success. And riding that high because anybody could have a good game. So one game means absolutely nothing. Okay? And I'm going to talk about it later in this video, but I'm going to explain why you don't want to ride this high. All right? And I can give you another example. Maybe not even just one good game. Maybe even a stretch of good games. Right? Y'all remember Jeremy Lin? The point guard for the Knicks a long time ago? And he had that 2-week stretch where he was going absolutely crazy out of nowhere. Y'all remember him? They called it Linsanity, right? And after those 2 weeks were up, after he was going crazy, what happened to his career after that? Right? He was just basically a role player, and his career didn't amount to much. But at that time, people were making it seem like he was the greatest player ever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you defining your success after that. All right? And what the great players do, they have a multitude of good games, a multitude of good seasons even. Right? And they don't ride that high because internally they know like they're already good. So like a good game means nothing to them. Like they already knew that like this is normal to them. A good game is normal. So they're not even going to get excited about it. Right? And that helps me move on to my next point. Getting to the top is one thing, but are you actually able to stay there? Listen, I need you to understand that it takes a lot of effort to get to the top, obviously, but it takes even more to stay there. Okay, because what happens to a lot of people is they get to the top, they get to that level of success, and then they get complacent, right? Complacency is the biggest killer of success, and it forever and always will be, right? Because a lot of people will have a good season, a couple good seasons, and they'll get their contract, and they'll just, like, oh, I'm good, like, I'm chilling, like, I got my contract, like, the media's loving me, I'm good, I'm chilling. The next thing you know, they go play like absolute shit. Somebody takes their spot. Their career is basically over with, right? Because they got complacent, right? So I need you to realize just because you played this one good game or even had a stretch of these good games doesn't mean you're going to stay there, okay? And I can give you an example outside of sports. Like y'all remember, like there's like a bunch of artists or a bunch of rappers, but y'all remember Roddy Ricch, the guy who sang The Box? Pulling out the coupe of the lot, ton fuck, that song? Right, y'all remember 2018 or 2019 to 2021, he was like absolutely elite. Like everybody was banging his music, everybody loved his music. Where's he at now? Exactly, he absolutely fell off. He's like him, the baby, even Lil Baby now is pretty mid too. Right, because they got complacent with their success. That ego went to their head, so they really stopped putting that effort. They start putting that same energy that it took them to get there. Right, and vice versa. Think of all the greats, like LeBron, for example. He's been playing in the league at just this level for 20 plus years, right? He's playing like he's still trying to make the league, right? He never got complacent with the contracts. He never got complacent with all the attention and just all the stats, right? He wants more. He's still hungry. He still has that same hunger like he came into the league with, right? That's what makes you great, is not getting complacent. I need you to realize that once you get to the top, don't realize that you're not chilling. All right, do not chill. That means you have to work even harder, okay? And I need you to realize that. Or even, shit, you guys know I love my dating examples on this channel. All right, so let's say you get a girl, right? Or to get the girl, you've had to take her out on dates, give her flowers, whatever you guys do, whatever y'all be doing, right? And then you end up getting that relationship, and then you stop doing all that. You took everything, or you stopped doing everything it took to get her, right? Because you got complacent. And the next thing you know, she leaves you. Right? Because you stopped doing what it took to get her. Because you have to keep doing that even more. You have to keep taking your girl out on dates and whatever. All right, to maintain her. And I'm not just shit talking the guys too. The woman too. The woman also gets complacent. Right? But this is not a dating channel. All right, but y'all get the point. Listen, once you get to the top, you have to work harder, not work less. All right, you guys get the point. Like, oh my god. Next thing I need you guys to know is the law of rhythm. Don't get too high on your success or the low will feel just as bad. I know it may be hard right now. Pause. But I don't want you riding this high of success, okay? Because as far as the pendulum will swing to the right, it will swing to the left. So after this great game right now, you're probably feeling so euphoric, so on cloud nine. But once you have a bad game, that high will turn into a low, right? That horrible game will make you feel so in such an anguish, such in despair, right? That low will feel like an extreme low, just like how this high will feel like an extreme high. And I need you to realize there is no high without no low. There is no low without no high. It's just a law of rhythm. You got to have a balance, right? You're never not going to have a bad game. It's literally impossible. You saying and asking for never to not have a bad game is like you asking for a life without no problems. It would be nice, but it's impossible, right? Literally impossible. Like, even if you make more money, you're still going to have more problems. More money, more problems, whatever, right? And no matter what level you make it into the league, you're still going to have problems. Like, let's say you just got this guaranteed contract. Let's say you just got your starting job, right? Now you're going to have the problem of maintaining that spot in that contract, right? Like I explained earlier. You guys get the point at this point, right? And I need you to realize that. And honestly, this is one of the main contributors of inconsistency, is that a lot of athletes will ride this high. And then if they're lucky, maybe even play a couple good games after this. But once that bad game hits, they don't know how to handle it. Because like I said, you're never not going to have a bad game. Okay, and by the way, I teach you guys how to handle a bad game, and I'll leave that video in the description below, right? So once that bad game hits, that low will feel extremely low, right? And they'll end up in a slump, okay? And it'll just feel so frustrating. It'll just feel just annoying because you just think to yourself, like, I played all these good games right here, so why am I playing like straight ass right now, right? And your game will just be like this, and it'll just be all over the place. Like, what the hell is going on? Right? And it's just because of the law of rhythm. You're riding that high too much. You're riding that pendulum all the way to the right. So when it swings to the left, it just feels just as bad as it's just as much as it feels good. Right? I need you to realize this. I need you to lock this in. And I'm not saying you can't acknowledge that you had a good game. I actually want you to. Right? But I don't want you just dwelling in that euphoric state and in happiness. Right? Because like I told you, good players or great players are already in a state of being where like a good game is normal to them, right? So like they're not even surprised by it. Like they put in the work, they do whatever. So like, oh, this is normal, this is good. Like, oh, I played a good game. All right, on to the next one, right? And same thing with bad games. You could say like, oh, I've had a bad game. Like it's part of the game. It is what it is. All right, I'm gonna bounce back on the next one, right? You don't sit too low in it either, right? And I need you to realize this. So this is probably one of my shortest videos I've made so far, but I just wanted to just get this off of my head, right? And tell you guys, right? So with that being said, go watch my how to handle my bad game video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.